Hello, 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 team. It is your girl, lady, minus Mumu tonight. Mumu has been under the weather due to the holiday, well, during the holidays. And so we are going to continue to push out our best feelings and energy for her to get better. So I'm rocking alone tonight. Before I get into tonight's topic, I would like to say Merry Christmas, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy Hanukkah, and definitely Happy New Year. Welcome to 2025. This is the time. And I know we hear that all year, every year. This is new, this is that, this, da, 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 da. But I'm serious, y'all. It's time. Welcome to 2025. Again, it's Lady. I'm doing it by myself tonight. But I also have you all. I have our teammates, and I'm happy about this. Um, I'm going to just draw off of what I feel for tonight, and the topic is going to be um, resolution or resolve. Resolution or resolve. In the new year, we often hear, this is my New Year's resolution, or that's my New Year's resolution, and I want to have a resolution to do this and do that. And by Valentine's Day, hell, by Easter, most people are already in the dumps because that New Year's resolution was just that. It was a goal that was set at the new year. So this year, I myself have kind of turned a new leaf, and I have been able to pull from things that I've been through. I don't like to say crisis, critical, or grief. So I'm not going to place negative labels on the situations that I've endured in 2024. So I'm going to say lessons that I've learned. We're gonna pull away from saying grief and crisis and critical situations and using sad negative things, bringing negative energy, because we are going to what resolve things this year. So in 2024, I endured several situations, and I'm going to reverse that and say I've learned several lessons. So what I'm going to do in 2025 is guide myself and resolve issues based off the lessons that I've learned. I also feel like it's pivotal for me to do this year because women don't like to discuss their age, but I will be hitting a milestone this year on my birthday. Your girl will be the big 4-0. I know. Calm down, calm down, calm down. You can call me anything but old. That's the rule. Do not call me old. But I will be 40 in a few days, Team Aquarius, Big Aqua. And, I don't care what people's religions are. That's not what I'm here for. I am a spiritual person. So, whomever you believe in, whatever your higher power is, I'm going to say that, God placed it on my heart around Thanksgiving that lessons have been learned and lessons have been taught and lessons are going to still be given during this season, and I am in a season myself. And the season I'm in has some sunny spring days, has some warm beautiful summer days, and then we get some real murky rainy days. And so I have had to take my lessons and pull them in, and I'm gonna tell you something. Since about July of 2024, it's been real. My season has definitely been real. And so what I did was made it my business once God spoke to me and said, this is not a resolution. This is not a New Year's resolution. It is a new year, but it's a new year to resolve. It is a new year to learn, it's a new year to grow, and it's a new year to prosper. And so when I heard that, I did not want to set resolutional goals. I said, you know what? This is a new year for me because this is a new take on life. This is a new milestone for me. I am going to be 40 years old. Yes, and you know what? I'm happy about being 40 because I made it. I made it. And so that's the positive thing. I don't even care about the age and all that stuff, the body aches, because baby, I get them. But I do want to let you all know that I'm very grateful, and I'm so privileged and happy to have the grace that God has bestowed upon me, because I am in my 40 now. I'm going into 40 in about 26 days. And so that helped me grasp what God was showing me. And He was showing me that, baby, you're learning lessons that are going to mature you. You're learning lessons that are going to nurture you. You're learning lessons that you would not shut up and listen to me try to teach you and guide you years ago. So I'm gaining wisdom. And so this year, we are not going to follow New Year's resolutions. It's not about losing weight. You can, and I'm proud of I'll support whatever you decide, but we're not going to do this. I'm losing weight this year. I'm doing this. I'm eating grapes up under the table, and I'm going to meet the love of my life. We can manifest. But we need to make sure that when we manifest, we're pulling from the lessons that we have learned, our traumas, our triggers, healing. We need to make these issues and situations lessons. And when you do that, you will start to learn how to guide and navigate yourself into healing and and grace. So one thing I do want to focus on is the New Year's resolve. We're not doing a resolution, because a resolution means that we are equating things to, this is the finale. A resolution means this is how we solve something. And we don't always, meet our New Year's resolution. But if we resolve things, and they sound alike, but if we resolve things, resolve is spelled resolve. It's RESOLVE. So what are we solving? We're solving issues. But when you put RE in front of solve, it's resolve, which means that you may be solving issues that you've had over and over and over again. So resolve means you're breaking cyclical barriers, you're breaking cycles. And that's what we want to do this year in 2025. We don't want to have a resolution to a small goal or something minute. We want to resolve. We want to break cycles, and we want to put a resolution on those cycles. The cycles of defeat, the cycles of hurt, the cycles of negativity, the cycles of endless jobs, the cycles of dreams, wishes, and nightmares. We want to end all these cycles this year, because we're going to lead with intent, we're going to lead with purpose, and we are going to not only have goals, but we are going to lead with success. And success is just manifesting. Success is manifesting that your goal is already resolved. It's not going to be, I want to get that car, I want to purchase a house. You have to manifest, and you have to resolve that I am going to get that car, and that's my car, that's my house. Start pointing things out, start manifesting things, start breaking these cycles. So I actually started in about in November. I went through a very bad separation. I've never been married, but I did go through a very bad soul separation. I was involved with someone, and it was deep. I mean, real deep, soul tie deep. And so we endured a separation in November, which was just 2 months ago. And during that time, I was hurt, I was broken, but it was something inside of me that kept me from breaking all the way down. And I've been broken all the way down before. But for some reason, even though I felt this tight attachment to this human, it was like God was holding me up this time. And He was like, "You've been there, you done that. So what you gonna do this time? What lesson did you get from this?" And I had to sit with it for a few days. And I was like, you know what, God? I have learned lessons. And I have been able to go back around this human and tell him, you know what? Thank you for my lessons. And now, 2 months later, I have a smile on my face. I'm not bitter. I'm not heartbroken. He was a lesson for me. And so during this time, this stormy season in November, I started to journal. I I have my own mental health journey, and I'm journeying on and jogging through that. And so I'm sorry, let me get some water. I'm gonna take a break. I'm gonna take a sip. Okay. So I've back to, I have this mental health journey, and I don't knock anything. I support and I advocate for mental health. I advocate for um your, spiritual beliefs. I advocate for all that. Whatever you need to get you in and get you centered and in the right space, I love it. So I'm doing my own mental health thing, and I was listening to my therapist, and I've been in therapy for years. Like I said, I'm about to be 40. I believe, I started getting therapy, actual professional therapy, as an adult. At almost 18, I started seeking therapy on my own. But when I was younger, in grade school, I would sneak to the guidance counselor, because the way I was raised, you don't talk about what goes on in the house. But I would sneak to the guidance counselor and seek out mental and emotional help. And so, when I was about 18, I started getting it, on my own, bravely. And so here I am, almost 40, and I'm still getting therapy. And this time, I've heard for years from different therapists: journal, 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 journal. And I would always, start off journaling, and then I'll be like, forget this. Writing this mess down is not helping me. I don't want to sit here and deal with all this. I'm tired of my teardrops hitting this paper. I'm tired of my tears spreading this ink around. And so I would stop journaling. But after enduring what I've endured since about July 2024, I have taken it upon myself to journal. And I started journaling in November, and it has really been eye opening, you all. I have been able to take lesson upon lesson upon lesson and just go with the flow. I mean, it has opened me up in so many areas that it's pure tea serene. It is pure tea serene. Um, so I started journaling. I started with a little notebook, and I started just writing. I mean, when I say, like, and I'm a person that has OCD, diagnosed OCD. So consistency, organization, topic flow, those type of things matter to me. But this time when I started journaling in November, I did not give a damn about what I was writing. I mean, it was just off topic. The subject changes, and I mean, it's pages and pages and pages of just mind dumping, brain dumping, emotional dumping. I mean, it's some pages with tear stains, it's some pages with food crumbs, coffee stains. It does not matter. My journal is my safe space to dump. And I feel great about that. And it's only been 2 months. Um, and it helps me release things. If I feel anxious, I'll get my journal and I'll write, even if it's one sentence. Sometimes all I do is put a period on the paper. If I feel sad, if I feel happy, this is the place where I can go to talk. And what it has also done is it has helped me stop picking up that phone and texting, stop picking up that phone and calling, stop gabbing and gossiping. Put it in that journal and leave it. Once I put what I want in that journal, I'm done with the situation. If you piss me off, I'm gonna put you in that journal. I'm done with it. If you make me happy, I'm gonna put you in that journal, and I'm gonna be happy about it. I'm gonna move forward. So this is my stopping ground, this journal. So as I began to journal, journal, journal in my little cheap notebook, I started to really gain interest in journaling and letting go. And so I ran up upon another journal in this company called Inside Then Out. I do have to give credit because it's not mine, and I don't want nobody trying to sue me. But the creator, the author, is Nia Jones, and she has a great. It's an awesome company. I think I'm gonna put the link on TikTok and YouTube for you all. Um, the first journal I purchased from her, she has several types of journals, and she also has a planner. But I purchased two journals from her. I'm gonna tell you about the first one today. It's called Dig Deeper. And it makes you really get in, like, it's topic based journaling, but shockingly, once you read the topic, you'll start writing, and it's just like it overwhelms you, all the things that you can write about based off the topic that's listed. Um, so I wanted to go into the first, what pulled me to this topic tonight of resolve, New Year's resolving and lessons, is because the journaling. About a week ago, I received the journal from Naya, and I was able to look into the first page. The journal is broken down, it's compartmentalized into several different categories. It's actually 6 categories. And the first category is intention. So for the first 30 something pages, you're journaling based off intent. And I think I mentioned intent earlier, and how we manifest. Intent just means like what you're focused on and how you guarantee that you're going to make it happen regardless. So I have been focusing on intention in this journal, and I write in this journal and I go back to my other journal. It's not right or wrong. Um, but we I'm sorry, y'all. I was slowing down. I was checking on my DoorDash. It's late, but your girl needs some mental nutrients. So the first topic in the journal is intention. That's the first category. So intention is the first category in this beautiful journal titled Dig Deeper. The journal states that with intention is about bringing focus and attention to what matters most to you. It means you are stepping away from mindless activities and ensuring that you are living each day with a conscious choice of how you want your life to be. Let's take a pause. What stuck out to me in that sentence was stepping away from mindless activities. Stepping away from mindless activities. That brings us back to what, everyone? Lessons. We're stepping away from mindless activities. That brings us to reversing crisis, reversing trauma, reversing situations, and turning them into lessons, because we are going to step away from mindless activities. And that's what I did. And that's what helped me to get through this heartbreak and start healing from just 2 months ago. So we are going to step away from mindless activities and ensure that we are living each day with a conscious choice of how we want our lives to be. There's that manifestation. There's that intent. There is that New Year's resolve. When you develop a deep awareness of the most important people, activities, and experiences in your life, you naturally become more aligned with those things. So when you take a step back and say, who is important to me? What is important to me? Why is it important to me? Why is that person, or why are they important to me? And how, in what way are they important to me? You will become so conscientious and naturally aligned with dealing with those people, living in those situations. And that is where intent sets in. And sometimes you have to clear house, clear circles, let go of jobs, let go of energies, and then you can focus on your natural way of living and your intentional way of living with people, through situations, and with things. I know that personally I've taken a step back from a lot of things, and I'm gonna tell y'all, it's literally been just within the past month or two, not even an entire year. These things have happened quickly, like so fast. When you set your heart on intent and when you are set on change, healing, and resolve, things start to happen so fast that sometimes you have to step back and say, whoa, I got to take my foot off the gas. Because I came to you, God. I came to you and asked for this situation to turn around. I came to you and said I didn't want to feel sad anymore and I needed you to take some things away. And baby, he started snatching things up, baby. He started taking things off the hanger and clearing out the closet before I could even open my eyes. I would wake up in the morning and friendships would be over. I would go to bed at night and stressful jobs were gone. I would go outside and drive my car and come back home and try to go somewhere and the car wouldn't even crank. And what's so crazy is the things that would usually break me and hurt me and tear me down, I've not been phased. I'm in a comfort. He's made this stressful season comfortable for me. He's made it to where I can sit and I can deal and I can be happy when I'm dealing. I'm not sitting and accepting things and being depressed. I'm sitting and I'm just like, okay, cool. Because you know what? I took my foot off the gas and I'm letting him drive. And I am intentional about these lessons and I'm intentional about this change. So he has made me aware of who's in my circle, what's in my circle, and how to deal with my circle. And sometimes your circle is just a dot and you have to change it. And sometimes you have to clear out your circles and take that dot and make it a period and put it at the end. At the end of all the drama, at the end of all the heartache, at the end of all the sadness, put an end to it. Periods finalize things. Periods finalize things. And what happens after you put a period at the end of it? After you put a period at the end of a sentence, you begin a new sentence or you start a new paragraph. So we are at our period point. We're done with we're clearing out our circle. We now have a small period. We need to take that dot and put it at the end of our sentence, and we're starting a whole new circle with intent to resolve this year. Let me get back to reading. So you behave differently when you are being intentional and are more cautious with your time, your relationships, your energy, your space. That goes back to that natural intent. When you start to tear away some things and you are so intent and focused on your vision and what's ahead of you, it becomes natural to be by yourself. It becomes welcoming to stay in and be stress free. It becomes welcoming to push things to the side. The things that would make you sad and make you feel alone no longer bother you. You look for reasons. I'm like that. I used to be like, oh, my friends never call me. My friends never want to hang out. I would sit and look at things on social media and see how they're all hanging out and they're all doing things, and it was always an excuse why I wasn't connected or why I wasn't contacted. But as soon as they need something, my number's the first one they dial. And I would be there because I was waiting and I was wanting that friendship and I was wanting that connection. But guess what? Now I rush home just to be by myself. I rush home. I turn my phone off. I put my phone on D&D because I love me. I love to have my space. I love my energy. And I don't waste any more time and energy on any of that other stuff. It's okay to be social. I'm not against it. But baby, right now I'm going through this moment. I'm going through this change and I'm intentionally going through this change so that I can resolve some issues and some situations and learn these lessons. So I'm okay now being by myself because that gives me time to love me. That gives me time to be around the people that mean something to me. My children, my close associates. That gives me time to do things my way and it feels good. It really, really, really feels good. And it does become natural. It really becomes natural. Being alone now, it's just like, okay, whatever. It's not even second guessing. I used to dread coming home because I would be happy while I was out in the social atmosphere, and then I would get home and I would be depressed because I don't have anybody to talk to. I'm not laid up with nobody. I'm not on the phone gabbing and gossiping. And now I don't even want any of that. I'm thinking about, should I call him back? I don't feel like calling him back tonight. I want to get in my bed, pull my socks up to my knees, get under all my 20 blankets, and snuggle with my teddy bears, my bunny rabbits, and just snuggle. And it's so welcoming and peaceful for me. And I just enjoy my space. I enjoy that time because it gives me intent. And if I want to get up at 2 o'clock in the morning and go potty and then come back and pray and have that time with God, guess what? It's cool. I used to wake up at 2 o'clock in the morning and reach over on the other side of the bed and hope that it was a body next to me. Now I'm reaching over on the other side of the bed for my prayer veil. I'm reaching over on the other side of the bed just for my stuffed animal because I'm good enough for me. I'm good enough for me because I'm intentional on change. I'm intending on change because I've learned some lessons in this season. Y'all, and I promise y'all, this is a podcast. I'm not a preacher, I'm not a teacher, I'm not any of that, but I'm really, really like this has been on my heart. So now it also says about intention is that we are creatures of habit. So it can be extremely easy to live life on autopilot. We know that. I just a year ago, I used to tell my ex partner, I used to tell her, oh, you know what? I could do this every day with my eyes closed. I know how what to do every day. It's just like my body's leading the way and I'm just there. I am a victim to my own body. I know to get up, get the kids ready, get in the car, go to work, go to school, do whatever, go grocery shopping. It was a natural thing. That's that creature of habit. We're creatures of habit. We are. And the thing of it is, we can fall into being habitual even in negative situations. You could be getting dogged out by your partner. You could be dealing with parenting issues. You could be dealing with legal issues. And it's so habitual and it's so easy because you're already stuck in that place that you become a creature or a victim of habit. So we have to change. When you have intent, that means you're changing and you're pulling that veil back and you're getting out of the habitual way of the negative habitual way. Um, but if your daily habits aren't aligned with your intention, then you are living life by default, not design. So if I'm sitting here saying all this, I want resolve, I want intent, and I'm changing and I'm doing this and that, and I'm still going out stepping in the same mud puddles, I'm messing up the flow. I'm messing up the flow. So now I'm running in default mode, which still leads me into that habitual way of living. I'm in default mode. So if I'm asking to break away and I'm wanting to break away, and my intent is to break away from something and break away from certain things, you have to do it. You have to do the work. You have to physically motivate yourself. You have to mentally and emotionally motivate yourself, and you have to be intentional. That is the only way that you are going to have resolve. So when we speak on resolution and resolve, resolution is a short-term goal. To make it easier for you all. Let's think of it. Resolutions are short-term goals. Resolving that's a long-term goal. Resolving is more permanent. If you have an issue at work and your manager finds a resolution, that means that it was handled in a lower level, a lower department. Your manager handled the situation. If you have a bigger issue at work and HR gets involved, HR has the final say so, and that is a resolve. They have resolved the issue and it went to an upper level. So what we're doing is we're getting off that lower level at work and we're going up higher. We're resolving things. We want to resolve. We're HR. We're in control now. We're in control now. And so when we want to get out of living life by default, let's get out of that. Let's leave all that. Let's leave default mode in 2024. Hell, some of us were still living in 2020 in 2024. So we need to leave all that. Let's leave all that and let's move forward to 2025. We're going to get out of default mode. We're going to move intentionally because we're going to resolve some things and learn some lessons. Being intentional requires you to let go of some things. Let's let go of fear. We need to let go of comparisons and even your desire to please, and instead replace those things with a deep focus and consciousness of your desires. And that's everywhere. We see fear, we see comparison, we see envy, we see jealousy. We see that all day long. I mean, I had to literally in 2019, I took an entire break from Facebook. I still have not accessed Facebook. I have not accessed IG since probably 2018. I have no use for it. I remember being on there and looking and seeing peers and family members, and it was nothing. It was supposed to be a place where you socially connect, and it turned into nothing but drama. It got to the point where every time I looked, it was just post on with my baby daddy this and my real family, and it was just so much brokenness on Facebook that I remember I just pulled away. I deactivated the entire page, and I was okay with that because I just saw jealousy and I saw a lot of comparison, and everybody was trying to live up. Back in the day, they called it the Joneses, but now it's the Joneses, it's the Dixons, it's the Suttons, it's everybody. Everybody just trying to be everybody. instead of themselves. There's no intent now. There's no intent. Everything is the same. You go on YouTube and you see the reels and you see the stories, and it's the same drama. It's just different hosts. It's different YouTubers speaking about the same messy stuff that celebrities have going on, and most of it is made up. But guess what draws you in? It's the fear that the celebrities are going through things. It's the comparisons, and this one looks like this, and all of them starting to look alike because they got BBLs, and this one is jealous, and this one is dating this, and this one, and it's just crap, 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 and it pulls you in. And I'm not judging. Trust me, because I was one that would always be pulled in. I would sit, and I mean, it was a point where people could come and ask me about a celebrity, and I could just run down. You would think that I was talking to these people on the phone because I could run down who was with who, how everybody was going, and it's just it's time consuming, and it's really negative. I mean, it's some of it is interesting. I love to see the pause and the upbeat and the success, but at this point I got my own problems. I have my own drama. So I just don't want to keep seeing the same situation being brought up by different people. And so that goes into fear, comparison, and desires to please and things like that. And we need to replace those type of things. We need to find ways to replace that energy and focus on our desires. Focus on your own desires, not what people want you to do, not who people want you to be. What do you want? Who do you want to be? How do you want to succeed? And to start being more intentional in your daily life, you need to clarify with yourself what you want to achieve and start taking action to achieve it. So basically, what I've been talking about: manifest it, motivate, get up, do what you need to do. If it's a business, go do it. If it's reading 5 books, do it. Do it. If it's getting married, do it. If it's getting a divorce, do it. If it's coming out of the closet, do it. If it's writing a book, do it. Do it. Resolve these issues. Resolve and heal. Let that trauma go. Let those secrets go. Let those people go. Move around. Let that job go. But do it with intent. Everything that you do this year, do it with purpose. And know that I'm doing this for this. I'm taking this step for this greater purpose. I'm letting this person go for this greater purpose. And even if it hurts, remember that it's intentional and you're doing it on purpose, for a purpose, for you, yourself. I've even had to take a step back. And on January 1st, I said, you know what? It's about me. It's not about my kids. Yep. Yep. I said that. And I know y'all making faces, and some of y'all, because it's deep down mothers that are nurturing just like myself. And a few years ago, I probably would have been like, ooh, that was what she mean, not about her kid. Mm-mm. But you know what? It's not about them. Mm-mm, 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 mm. And I have kids sprout out. I have 6 kids, 6 big kids. Um, and they range in age. They grown, and then they little. But this is the thing. It's not about them this year. It's about me, my purpose, my intent. I've focused on them. I've given them intent. I've given them purpose. But now they are old enough. They are developing into their own individuals, and they have to find their own purpose. They have to gather their own intent. I've been mommying since I was 14, 15 years old, and I'm turning 40 this year, people. If they haven't learned any lessons from me right now, they're going to have to come back around through the drive through later, because I'm in my lane right now and it's about me. And I don't feel, for the first time in my life, I don't feel bad for that, because guess what? My intent for me does not change how I love my children. And my children are my people. They are my purpose, but not right now. Not right now, because without safe me, without intentional me, without the resolve me, I can't be anything for them. I can be a mom all day, but what is a mom without motivation? What is a mom without herself? What and your children, whether you realize it or not, they see that. They feel that. They know that. They know that. I mean, we carry these kids in our womb, and if you have adopted kids or foster kids, you carry them in your heart, and these children are connected to you, and they feel what you go through, and that carries on into them, and they express it however their little minds and bodies can express it, and then they grow up and they still express it, and they're still dealing with heartache. But if they didn't see you or whoever their role model was deal with all of these situations, and if they didn't see how you learned lessons, and if they didn't see how you focused on intent, you're in for a rude awakening, and you are going to eventually be raising grown children with nothing that but filled with inner childhood trauma, and that was me. And I'm a grown child. I am a grown child. That's all I am. And I am trying to learn and live. And I am tired of living through my children because they are their own beautiful people. And now I have to find the beauty in me. I have to. And so I have, yeah, you have to be more intentional daily. This is a daily thing, and I try to make sure that I don't skip one day of journaling. I mean, even if I don't use this big beautiful journal that I received from inside then out, I'm grabbing my little rusty notebook and I'm writing in it. It has to be a daily commitment because you know what? You're important and you're intentional and you want resolve. So I focus on that situation. I focus on what I need to do, and I have trained myself to make it a day-to-day thing. And you have to take things one day at a time. um in this theme, we're still in the journal, I'm sorry y'all, but in this theme you will begin to set more intention in your life. You will reflect on your values, dreams, priorities, and goals, and outline actions accordingly. And that's exactly what I've been doing. That's exactly what I've been doing. I have been outlining things. I'm going somewhere tomorrow night to do a vision board. I'm so excited about. I am just like, my insides are bursting and bubbling with change. My insides are bursting and bubbling with excitement. And honey, if I could sit on this podcast for another 2 hours and just tell you the things that I've endured since June, you all would really be like, what is she up here doing all this preaching and teaching and happiness for? Because baby girl, you struggling, you going through. And you know what? I'm learning lessons. I'm not going through. I'm learning lessons in this season. But my intent is to resolve all of this and move forward. Because, baby, I'm powerful. Baby, I'm here and I'm going to do what God set me to do. And please don't take it like I'm preaching again. I'm not. I don't have any license to preach, any educate, none of that. And I'm saying God, and if that's not who you believe in, don't leave us, don't unfollow. I'm just, you believe in whoever your high power, Buddha, Allah, I don't knock it. Trust me, I respect it. I respect every bit of it. um and even in my home, we are a very blended family. We are very open spiritually, uh all of the above. We can get into that in a few more podcasts, but just know, if you that, we with it. I love everybody. We love everybody, and everyone is a part of the team. Bring your A game, bring what you got, bring what you know, and we'll do this. So please don't feel offended if I'm saying God and that's not who you believe in. Allah, Buddha, we there. Um, so we have to prioritize our dreams and our goals, and we need to outline our actions. And you really have to outline things. Like, I mean, I'm a writer, I'm a note taker, but if you aren't, just set aside time. And if you have a planner, make a planner just for your goals. Make a planner just for your goals. I keep a calendar up and I mark off things. I set goals in my calendar, and I've really been intentional about it this year. And that's what 2025 needs to be about. You need to be intentional. I'm not going to be up here much longer. I just want you all to know, and this topic just came right off of what I felt tonight. We were supposed to be discussing something totally new, but then when I was leveled out here by myself, it just came to my heart, and I just feel like this is a new year, and I wanted to come and tell y'all Happy New Year. I missed y'all. I really did. I felt terrible last week when we couldn't post upload on last Tuesday because that's when our podcast airs. It's one night a week. It's on Tuesdays, and we missed a week. And I wasn't feeling that. I'm sorry. I was not feeling that. And I knew it was a holiday. And God kept saying, it's a holiday. It's okay. Relax, relax. Production was gone on vacation. Moo Moo was under the weather, and she still is. Um, I have a little rattle rattle going on, but I was not going to leave you all hanging this week. I could not do 2 weeks in a row. Um, and so intention and resolve is what has been on my mind. Just being goal oriented, but long term goal oriented. And I think if you are intentional about your long term goals, they will no longer be long term. You will really, really realize how much short of a time frame it takes to get those goals, to succeed in those long term goals. It shortens the time when you're intentional with it. Um, I actually have just received a degree on December 1st. Yay, me. Um, and a part of me was sad about it because of the length of time that it took me to get the degree. Excuse me. I'm sorry. It was because I had to mother. I had to focus on my kids. So at times I had to put school aside and I had to work 2 or 3 jobs. I had to find housing. I've dealt with a lot of homelessness and things like that in the years. And a lot of change and a lot of adapting. So I've had to put school on hold, but I finally earned my degree December 1st, 2024. I will walk across the stage May 2025. I have received several academic awards, and I've become alumni in several different organizations and associations. And, that is what stood at the top after I drowned myself in so much misery of, oh my God, it took me 10 years. And now I got to figure out how I'm going to go back to school. And I really want to do this. But you know what? I turned all that around and I said, you did it. You not only did it, but you have a 4.0 GPA. You're at the top of your class. And now I'm looking at my oldest daughter who's in college and she's so proud of herself. And and that's Mumu. Mumu is my daughter, by the way, everybody. She's not my, people have thought that she was my friend. She is my oldest daughter. But Mumu's in college, and your girl is doing her thing. She's like a straight A student right now, and she's sick, and she's still knocking out her classes. She's excited about this new semester, and so I am very excited. And I think when I got to my low point after I received my degree in December, it was her coming to me and talking about her classes and showing me some of her papers that she's turned in, her final papers, and it it just really brought healing and happiness to me because I remember times when I was working 2 or 3 jobs and I would pick them up from school and I would have to take them to a night class that I had, and they would have to sit outside the classroom while I'm in my biology class or I'm in my history class for college, and then I would leave class and take them to get dinner, and I would take them home so I could go to another job. And I used to feel like the world's worst mother because I hardly ever spent time with them. If spending time with them meant they had to go everywhere and do all this adult stuff that I had to do. And so I felt like I never made enough time for them. But when I saw her, a few weeks ago talking about, oh, this new semester and I'm a straight A student, and she was showing me all the great things that her teacher was, all the accolades her teacher was giving her, it made me proud because it was like, look at her. Look at her strength. Look at her resilience. And where did she get it from? You know, why does she have this love of education? Why does she have this push to finish college? And that was me. And so that pushed me even more towards intent for the new year. Um, and I think one thing that I really have to be intent on is loving myself and not applying so much pressure to myself that I feel like an utter failure. I'm my worst enemy, and I'm aware of that. And so this journaling has helped me realize a lot of things. Um, I'm sorry. And I ask questions a lot. I ask myself questions. I ask God questions. I'm gonna take a sip of water. Um, and he ends up showing me and giving me answers right in my face just by my circle, people I'm around. Excuse me. And so that has been a great thing. Um, so to kind of finish this off, um, I am so sorry, y'all. To finish this off, we talked about intention in the Dig Deeper journal, and I will make sure the link is posted on the podcast on Podbean and the podcast app, which is Podbean, and we'll post it on YouTube. Um, but the first journal entry for intention in the Dig Deeper book is why who are you no longer willing to be? And I think that is awesome. That is a great way. That's a great opener. And when I read that, I had to read it a few times because I was like, hold up, who am I not willing to be? I can tell you who I want to be. And so when I kept looking, I closed the book. I let it sit for a day because I was like, what she mean? Who am I not no longer willing to be? I want to talk about who I want to be. And so it transferred over to me in my mind and it was like, reframe this, reverse this. If you know who you want to be, then who can you not be so that you can get to the person that you want to be? And so I'm not going to share a lot of personal stuff with you all in my journal, but I'm a pretty open person. And so the topic of who are you no longer willing to be, it brought me to my topic. And I actually, when I and what I do when I write my journal is I write down, I listen to, sometimes if I'm listening to music when I'm journaling, I will write down the song at the top of the journal entry that I'm listening to at the time, because music is therapeutic and music is eye opening. And so when I was reading this journal topic and thinking on it, I was actually listening to Mariah the Scientist. She Everybody knows her now. She's a songwriter, she's a singer, but mostly she's popular now because she is Young Thug's girlfriend, and she was his ride or die. She held him down. But I was actually listening to her song "Spread Thin," and I'm gonna let it play a little bit in the background while I read my journal topic. It's a beautiful song, and I think it went great with my topic of who are you no longer willing to be, because the song talks about how she's been betrayed, and it talks about how she's at the end of her rope and she's spread so thin that she has to leave and she has to have intent on who she wants to be. So it just flowed right into what I was doing. And so I said that I did not want to be doubtful. I didn't want to be sad. I didn't want to be an unsatisfied woman. That's who I no longer am willing to be. I am no longer willing to be afraid. I no longer want to be confrontational. I am no longer willing to be the yes girl. And you see, I said girl because a woman can stand on her no. I am choosing to be a humble woman. I am no longer willing to be my mom and dad's child. I put their name, but I'm not going to do this in the podcast. I am no longer willing to be my mom and dad's child. I don't want that label. You're such and such daughter. You such and such daughter. I'm me. I am my own woman. That's who I'm willing to be. I am no longer willing to be the peacemaker in my environments. I will not be the fire starter, but I can no longer sponge in everyone and everything around me. So I am done being confrontational. I'm done being the fire starter and I'm done putting out the fires. I'm done. I'm tired of being the peacemaker. I'm tired of sitting back, swallowing, swallowing, swallowing. As long as they're happy, as long as he's happy, as long as she's happy, I want to be happy. And I'm going to be able to speak up on how I feel assertively, not aggressively, and I will no longer be an angry black woman. I will no longer be an angry woman, period. I'm not saying that I won't get angry, but I won't sit in it. I won't let it turn me bitter. I am no longer going to be a bitter woman. I am no longer willing to be lazy and flawed. I am not going to use my downs, my depression, and all of that to just make me slothful. I'm not going to say, well, it's okay. I should have done better. I'm not going to say, well, I have my associate's degree, so I don't need another one. I'm going to push forward. I have intent to finish and become who I need to be. And you can easily procrastinate so bad that it just makes you lazy in every aspect of your life. And I no longer want to do that because I am guilty of doing that. And I no longer want to do that. Um I cannot accept for myself anymore. I cannot accept just things. I cannot just be exceptional and accept this, that, and the third and all and just all types of treatment anymore. I won't be accepting. I definitely don't want to be broken, a broken girl at that. And I want to be a healed woman. I want to be a healed woman. I don't want to be a broken girl. And there was also the part that I wrote where I said, I can no longer sponge in everyone and everything around me. I cannot do that. I'm no longer willing to do that. I'm no longer willing to be a sponge in all these environmental situations and in people's social situations. I'm no longer willing to be a sponge in my own home. I don't want to soak in everybody else's energy. I don't want to soak in everybody else's feelings. I have to focus on me. And you can call it selfish or whatever you want, but this year I am selfishly being intentional. This year I am selfishly going to resolve some issues surrounding me, my trauma, and my healing. And that is what we are doing in 2025. You have to pay attention. Henry Frederick Amiel said, "Learn to be what you are and learn to tastefully renounce everything you are not." That is from Henry Frederick Amiel. I may post that quote because I have to give credit where credit is due. But those are certain things that have pushed me not just within the past few months, but since the last podcast. That's where I've been. I've been on some emotional journeys, solo dolo type of stuff, and that's where I've come from. The intention, who I'm no longer willing to be, uh, and resolving this year 2025 we are going to have New Year's resolve, not New Year's resolutions. Resolutions are short term. Let's move with resolve, let's move with intent, let's move with focus, and we need to move with focusing on ourselves. um and I am so privileged and I'm so honored to be able to come in and have such a strong, beautiful audience. We just started this a month ago, and I'm manifesting. I'm manifesting that this is going to be great. This is going to be big. We are brave. I already see the huge audience and followers that we have. And I don't like to say followers, we have teammates, and you all are awesome. You're great. And I really thank you all for the support, for the feedback. And we please keep Mumu in our prayers so that episode 4 she can hop on. Um, and I'm gonna work on getting well too because I don't want to miss the next episode because I'm taking Mumu's place and being sick. But I really appreciate this time that I spent with you all and just running my mouth and blabbering. And let's be intentional. Let's be intentional this year. Let's focus. I know I'm going to be intentional because this is my big 4-0. So I'm intentionally motivated to succeed and do what youngins do because I'm still a youngin. Um, Thank you all again for following. Thank you all for being a part of the ONA family. And we come to you one night a week, but we are available anytime you need us. You can comment on YouTube. You can comment on Podbean. We do have an email address, and that is also linked in the YouTube. You can email us and we will soon be pushing out merchandise. We will soon be broadening our horizons and hopping on TikTok, Lord Jesus, and things like that. I'm a little shy, so I'm not very social. So I move a little bit slower when it comes to broadcasting and things like that. But I'm gaining my wings. I'm gravitating, and I'm just so thankful for all of you. And again, the goal is not to offend anybody. So I hope that nothing that I say offends anyone. And if it does, you have my deepest, sincerest apologies. I am an open book. I am, outspoken, and so I will talk about things or say things sometimes, and it's not intended to be hurtful or to push anybody away. On our team, in our family, we love all of you. um but again, I appreciate you. The song that I played was Mariah the Scientist. It's called Spread Thin. The journal that I read from was called Dig Deeper, and it is by Nia Jones, and she runs a company called Inside and Out. And I will make sure those things are linked in the podcast platforms that we are using now. Again, this is Lady, and I love you so much. Catch us again next week on One Night a Week. Good night.